Right, we're going to move on now to our last section. And this is how to win work, how to win some of those pencils. So we're going to throw the panel open and we're going to start talking about topping. So first of all, about the idea. So what tips would you like to give?
If I had an agency, I would call it craft and graft. For those of you maybe don't know, the word graft is usually a word used on building sites or labour-intensive jobs, and it's all about the hours put in. I think that there is the love that we have to give the work that we want to make, and there's the time and the hours that we put into. And I think it's the simplest and easiest phrase I keep very front and centre in my own mind, which is all about the discipline of loving every inch of the execution that you have in front of you. But please don't leave behind the hours and the time it takes to get there. 5 years in some instances, but hopefully it's not 5 years all the time. But for me, it would be craft and graft. I think those are the two ways that will put you in very good stead for a pencil.
I would say simplicity. If the ideas, the best ideas to my mind are always the simple ideas. If you can describe it in one sentence, it's kind of classic. Keep it simple and keep that simplicity all the way throughout, every single touch point in whatever the campaign or project is. And also when you're selling it as well, that simple, keep returning to what is that simple for. And quite often it's based on an insight, obviously, and strategists are your best friend, I would say. But yeah, keeping that idea simple is the single most important thing.
Yeah, and like simplicity as well, it's probably also the name of the campaign. Yeah. That's quite often the hardest. I think sometimes if you start with a really good name, it's going to just kill you on track. A number of times we have case studies go through the agency and like, what's this campaign called? Oh, it's the campaign that did this. That's not a thing, is it? It needs to sound like a thing, like a blood novel, for example. Yeah, it's a thing.
It took, I think, forever to.
Yeah, but it's as soon as you can do that, 2 words, you've got your idea down, it's easy for people to talk about it, which is what you want to do. Harlan, any sort of idea execution? You were chatting earlier about the cell, weren't you?
Yeah, sad thing. I think what I was saying to you just before we started was it sounds like once you've done something really good with your findings, it's going to be so easy to type again and again. And actually, it's not always the case because if you're with the sensitive topics, which is often the case in health, you are going to stumble upon all difficult insights or angles. And so I think for me, you can't help the fact that it might still be difficult to have certain conversations, but you just get better at it, and you get better at trusting each other as well. So I don't think there's such thing as an easy sell. I think it's more that you can build a stronger relationship where you can be a bit scared together, and you can you buy more patience for not having something perfect straight away, and you sort of agree to figure it out together. So it's not, I don't think I've experienced things as a sell-in as much as let's talk about something and see how they react, and then just build it together.
Yeah, the conditions will constantly change. I think that, what got you there the first time is definitely not going to get you there the second time, like that. I think that reinvention and that collaboration has to continue, but you're always going to have to take it to a new place. No one, the difficult second album is called the difficult second album for a reason. It's saying it as sort of mind that a little bit, I think.
Obviously, authenticity has been trending out of the work we'll be looking at today, where, I think sometimes if your work is based on insights and it's got your consumer or patient at the heart of it, you can start using what they're saying. And then when your client goes, I don't believe that, well, we didn't write it, they wrote it. Yeah. Maybe that's a trick if we play to nudge your fan hard a little bit. Any more before we throw it out to Q&A?
And just on the execution as well, obviously it needs to be beautiful. We've kind of talked about this amongst ourselves as well. But every aspect in terms of like the submission when you're trying to win a pencil. Remember that every expression of what your idea is needs to live in the execution as well. And it's from the typography, it's from the tone, it's the way that the flow of the story goes through everything, every single little detail. Like you have to be thinking about every single little detail. It's almost to the point that as an audience you don't notice it, but it's there, and if it wasn't there, then you would notice it. So it almost needs to feel seamless, it needs to feel natural, and you only get to that if every single touch point carries that idea. So